Meet Branch 245's newest member. Peacefully sleeping, not a clue how much he just cost the owner in vet bills for the stick he got stuck in his throat. But when they're this cute, they can get away with a lot. We're down in Shelton today for our quarterly branch meeting and work party. We have to fix some picnic tables and get the show grounds ready for the swap meet coming up at the end of the month. There's a lot of little things to do to get ready, but mostly today we're going to be repairing picnic tables and picking up rocks from the show grounds to prevent people from turning their ankles. We have lots of rocks here from when the glaciers left them for us, and they're called Port Orchard potatoes. We hate them, but there's plenty of them. If you need some, give us a call and send a truck. We'll fill you up. While the rock patrol is out busy picking up the Port Orchard potatoes, the rest of the crew is working on the picnic tables so that we can get to the good part of the meeting quicker, and that'd be the potluck. I notice there's more desserts than anything else over there. It's not all torture. Once we've got a little work done and the meeting stuff out of the way, it's time for the potluck, my favorite part. April's got the burgers going on the grill and everybody's queuing up for the meal. We'll soon be doing an engineering stress test on those picnic tables that were recently repaired. All right, that's enough on the meeting. It was great, but let's get to the main feature here. Just got my winter project home from Tumwater, Washington. Thanks to Dale Hardesty for going along and helping me figure out how to load this engine, which was set on a barrel outside the garage. It weighs about 300 pounds, but Dale knows how to sling the heavy stuff, so we lifted it up and rolled the tractor underneath it and set it down. This belonged to Raymond Evans. He's just turning 90 years old. He's an author of such books as Random Ramblings of an Old Geezer, Walking in Their Shoes Across the Land of Opportunity, Once Upon a Kissin' Bridge, and When Fast Food Was a Rabbit. If you get a chance to find those, they're pretty interesting if you like old rusty stuff. I'm going to start a video on restoring this 1940 LA, and it won't be ready till spring, but for now we're going to start working on the rims and getting this thing secured for the winter. Beads that have been seated for 50 or 60 years sometimes are hard to get off. This is my poor man's bead buster. You have to be very careful with it because it will also bust a rim. So you carefully apply pressure and reach underneath the rim with your hand off the pressure downer and make sure that the bottom of the rim is not being pinched on the shoe of the wood splitter. I destroyed a set of rims for a John Deere 790 the first time I attempted this procedure. Farmers often filled the rear tires on a tractor with water and then added chlorides or potassium to keep them from freezing during the winter. The chlorides really tear a tire up, especially around the valve stem, and you can often find a lot of problems in this area. This particular rim is in excellent shape, and I lucked out. We'll see how the other one looks. From where I'm standing, not so good. Trash or treasure? She who must be obeyed says trash. You know it's treasure, so you don't throw anything away. And here's the reason why. This is typical damage caused by chlorides in a tire, but there's still parts of the rim that are usable. This is off a JD LA 24. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it. I didn't have to store it in my yard and get in a lot of trouble, but now I'm going to cut it into pieces, make a patch for this wheel that's obviously been repaired at least twice already, and see if we can get it back in shape and on the road. Let's cut a patch panel out of this old busted rim and see if we can't repair the one we're going to put back on the tractor. I'm going to square up the edge where the last patch was cut out. I like to keep my lines as straight as possible to compensate for my poor welding. So the better the cut, the better the weld's going to be, and the better the fit when you go to spot weld it into the rim. While I'm at it, I'm going to cut two patches out because it's easy while you're here anyway. And I like to put the seam in the middle where it's flat, and I have to do less welding on the curved surfaces. Not so much welding as grinding. Grinding in the corners and cracks is pretty hard. Make sure that the size of your patch panel is sufficient to extend well beyond any rusted area. This metal is weak and you could have a catastrophic failure if you don't know what you're doing, so be careful. Had a slight delay here as I discovered my Milwaukee cutoff grinder is appropriately named, and after 7 stitches I'm back here at work. Lay the patch panel over the rim and trace around it carefully. When you cut, leave the line and you'll have a nice gap to fill. Also, you can use clamps on the corners to line things up before you spot weld. If the corrosion is limited to the immediate area around the inner tube stem hole, you can weld a washer in place to reinforce this area and effect a repair. But you can only do this if the rust is confined to that very small area. If you can weld the washer from the inside of the rim, it eliminates a lot of cosmetic defects on the side that everybody sees. After you're done, take a 9/16 inch drill bit and open the hole. Secure the patch panel carefully, ensuring that all of the edges match the existing rim, and spot weld about every inch all the way around, ensuring that the alignment is as close as you can get it. Once you have it securely and accurately welded in using the spots, you can fill in between the holes and start the wonderful grinding process. Weld, grind, cuss. Weld, grind, cuss. Repeat as needed until you get it ready to go. Take your time, and hopefully you won't have to be back in here for another 80 years. Getting close now. A couple of more days and it'll be ready for sandblast and powder coat. Thanks for watching.